let's talk about how to start your own online business. My name is Alan Cousins, and I've been showing regular people how to supplement their incomes and even replace their full-time work incomes since 1998. After these many years, and after having the privilege to meet literally tens of thousands of people, all of whom were people who were looking to improve their incomes, it's put me in a very unique position to have observed the things that these sort of people just like you, have done that got them their intended results, as well as all the things these people have done that did not produce the intended results. I'd like to share with you what I believe are the 5 most important points related to starting your own online business. These are the top 5 things that I've seen which people run into that become barriers to actually getting results and creating income. And these are the same 5 things that prove out by actual survey. If you were to survey a list of people in this niche of people who are looking for ways to increase their income, and I've done this many times, the same top 5 pop up every time in my experience. And these are all things that 99% of you're going to run into them. And for many people, when they do run into one or more of these things, they simply give up. They just quit. Well, if you know the solution to these 5 things, you don't have to give up. You don't have to quit. You can simply handle it and move on and make money. Now here's what they are. And these are in no particular order, but the first one is a lack of a product to sell. Many people, just during their initial research, simply give up because they come to the conclusion that if they don't have their own product to sell, there's no way they can start a business, and they simply go back to working a job forevermore. This is a shame. You don't actually need your own products to sell these days. The second big barrier is a lack of selling skills. Now this is a big one because very, very few people actually know how to sell at all. And most of the time with a new business, one of the first things people will do is they'll go out and contact their friends and their family members trying to offer their product that way. And so now they've got a doubly bad situation. 1, they don't know how to sell, and 2, they're talking to people who know them. And those are the most critical people, the hardest people to sell to in my personal experience. And it becomes very tough in the beginning with no selling skills. Now this ties into lack of sales systems and technical expertise, because let's face it, if you're not a web designer who also happens to know how to sell really well, it's pretty much impossible to create any sort of automated or even semi-automated sales system. And whether that's like an online internet-based sales funnel type of thing, or some other process that you use, if you don't know how to sell and you don't know how to turn that into an actual system that will move people through from being prospects into warm contacts into customers, you're never going to get anywhere. And it's one of those things that can take people years and years to learn. It really is a big barrier. And I want you to start thinking about, like, how would you overcome these barriers when you run into them? The next big barrier is the lack of ability to evaluate risk. In other words, a lot of people are just not sure what's a scam and what's legitimate. And I found that there's actually very few real scams out there, but for the average person looking into these types of things, it doesn't really matter if it's a scam or not. If they think it is or they're just not sure, it has the same effect because they don't take action. In other words, their viewpoint is that the risk just may be too great. So if they're putting money out for perhaps a stock of product or a sales system or some other type of business, even network marketing type of a business which has an initial investment, they're just not sure if it's real, if it's going to work for them, or if it's a scam. And this just stops a lot of people right there. Some people would choose foolishly to actually go back to work and work at a job for the next 10 to 20 years because they're scared to risk whatever amount of money that is one time. And it's foolish, but people actually do that. And that takes me logically into the next barrier, which is a lack of startup capital. Now right now particularly, this is a big one. I can't tell you how many people contact me on a daily basis and say, dude, I'm broke. I got to do something. I need to start a business, but I'm having a hard time because I just don't have any money to invest. And this is really a shame. And what's happened here is a lot of people have made so many bad decisions and taken so many of the wrong actions for so long that they've now put themselves in a position which is almost impossible to get out of. Now, there is something to be said for pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and just being tough and handling it and just making it go right. But when you have someone who doesn't have 2 nickels to scrape together and they got kids to feed and they can't afford to buy milk, that really is a tough situation for people to overcome. And you are going to have to be tough to handle it. But here's the thing. After years of observing that people were running into the same barriers over and over and over, I'm not just talking about a few people here and there, I'm talking about tens of thousands of people, I decided that I would create a system, a process that regular people could put into use right away, which would completely bypass all 5 of those points entirely, thus removing all the common barriers that people like you will run into. And that means that the things which prevent 95% of people like you from generating additional income have been canceled. I've put together a no-cost, no-risk daily income system which completely eliminates the need to have your own products to sell. It eliminates the need to have any of your own selling skills or presentation skills. It eliminates the need for any technical skills. It totally and utterly eliminates all the risk for people. And it totally removes the need for startup capital. Now, I'm currently offering free access to my no-cost, no-risk daily income system for ambitious people who can follow a simple 4-step process and who can maintain a glass-is-half-full mindset. Simply visit incomejack.com to create your 100% free daily income system, or just click the link in the description box below. I'll see you there.